Hey YouTube, it's your girl Chic from Chic Say What. I am coming on tonight. I wanted to talk about the NFL football player Antonio Brown. Like late last night, I was seeing like different headlines and things talking about him walking off of the field mid game. So I'm like, what? I mean, it just sounded crazy to me. So I did kind of see some clips where he did his little shenanigans on the side and just exited left. So I want to get into that tonight. If you are joining, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go on live. And we're going to get into some things. We're going to also talk about just the financial situation involving this matter, because my thought was, okay, well, if he walk off the field, how does that impact his bag? How much of his money that's been agreed, negotiated, how much of that is he still paid? Is he leaving that on the table? Do bruh still got a job to show up to on Monday? Like, what does this all look like? So I want to get into that. If you do have any comments, yes, please drop them in the chat, or if you catch the playback, drop them in the comments. And I like to read the comments, and we can just get the conversation on and popping. So let's get into it. Antonio Brown, I must say, the very first time I even heard of Antonio Brown, it was centered around some mess some years back. It's like every time I hear this man's name, it's just something dealing with some mess, some foolishness. So why that is, I don't know, but it just seems like Antonio Brown, his name is just always kind of accompanied with some drama that's going on. And to me, what doesn't come off as being like a good look for just the culture, our people, my black people. Like Antonio be like doing the absolute most. So we're going to get into it to talk about, the latest that has gone on with brother Antonio Brown. So what had happened was, let me share my screen, and so we can kind of get into, what had happened was, last night and yesterday's game. So let me bring up my screen so we can kind of get into it. Okay. Okay. So right now we're on sports.yahoo.com. Headline reads, report Antonio Brown claims ankle injury prevented him from re-entering Bucs game. Okay, so because last night I was hearing that he was asked to, enter the game, and he was like, no. So I was confused, like, oh, okay. Like normally I thought, okay, when you're an athlete and you're on the sideline, basically you like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Y'all remember that song? I'm thinking like, you ready, like, yo, like put me in. So, to hear that, okay, the story or the narrative being, oh, he was asked to go in and he was like, nah, to me that kind of sounded off. So I'm like, okay, why is he saying no? Like, what's the deal? So that's all I went to bed knowing, as of last night. So fast forward to today, as I prepared for this live, I learned, hey, Antonio Brown claims ankle injury prevented him from re-entering the game. So let's get into this article right here. It says the story behind Antonio Brown's bizarre exit from Sunday's Tampa Bay Buccaneers game keeps getting weirder. Y'all, anytime I hear Antonio Brown and something weird, that's a word you can use. It's just always some other stuff. So according to a new report, an injury may have prompted the entire incident. The wide receiver made a grand departure during the second half of the Bucs road against the New York Jets, dramatically stripping off his gear and throwing his undershirt into the crowd before waving, jumping around in the end zone, and then hitting the locker room. From there, he reportedly left the stadium and was not welcome to fly back with the team to Tampa. Head coach Bruce Arians said after the game that Brown's time with the Buccaneers was over. So I did see a little press conference the coach did, and they questioned him about Antonio, and he was just like, listen, he's no longer a Buccaneer. Let's talk about these players that actually won the game tonight, and he just glossed right on over. I'm like, okay. So Arians reportedly told Jay Glazer that Brown had refused to return to the game in the second half when he was told to. According to the NFL Network, Ian Rapoport, Brown felt he was too injured to return to the game at that point. He'd missed several weeks with an ankle injury, which happened to almost exactly coincide with his fake vaccine card suspension and had been limited leading up to week 17 after tweaking it in practice. So when I learned about him walking off the field, I'm like, wait a minute, he back playing? Because the last I knew, he was kind of on this suspension because of the whole fake vax card situation. If y'all remember, all of that. But so he was kind of caught up in that. And then, he had said he had it, he was vaccinated, and they learned, okay, that wasn't true. And then I just learned that he was kind of suspended from some games, and he was just like, okay, whatever. And he just kind of rolled with it. So that was the last I heard of his name. So to hear about him getting kicked out of the game, I'm like, he back at work? Okay. Well, I guess just as quick as he back at work, when he done got kicked, it just all happened so fast. So this article did touch on that it all kind of was running together with, him coming back to work. And then now, we're dealing with this. So I'm going to play this clip from this news report about the situation.
Well, here's my understanding, Kay, of how this entire situation broke down. Midway through the game yesterday, Bruce Arians and the offensive staff told Antonio Brown to go into the game. They believed that he was healthy. Antonio Brown did not believe that he was healthy. He had been battling an ankle injury for the last several weeks, did not practice Thursday, did not practice Friday, and I know personally had some doubts whether or not he would be able to be out there and play. What he told the staff, from what I understand, is that he was not going into the game because in his mind, he did not feel he was healthy. The response then from the offensive coaches and from Bruce Arians was, if you are not going to go into the game, when we tell you to go into the game, then you cannot be here. At that point, they threw him off the sidelines and then cut him from the team. So Antonio Brown, which Bruce Arians announced at the post-game press conference, he is no longer part of the team. They essentially told him that on the sideline, send him packing, leading Antonio Brown with $1 million incentive right within his reach. He was going to get it. He left all of that, left the field, and now is no longer a member of the Buccaneers.
So there you go. Let's see what else this article says. All right. Was Brown's ankle injury really the cause of his exit? Brown's reported claim that he was too injured to play adds a new wrinkle to everything we already know. It's certainly plausible it was the cause, because an ankle injury would have prevented him from playing last month had he not been suspended by the NFL. However, Brown didn't seem to be favoring his ankle when he was jumping around in the end zone and running to the locker room. So it says, here's a video from Bucs wide receiver Antonio Brown leaving the field and saying goodbye.
Brought to this team.
Antonio Brown. That's Antonio Brown without his uniform, we are told, without his jersey. And
Jay Howard trying to convince him to keep them on. Obviously, they were unable to do so. He tossed his shoulder pads, stripped off his shirt and glove, threw those into the crowd, then ran across the field while the teams were still on the field, giving the crowd a peace out sign. I'll let you know when we hear something official on his status.
Thank you, Jenny.
Okay. So it says, and considering Brown's history of being difficult, the injury story Ray purport relayed feels too simple and one-sided to be the whole truth. It may have played a part, but there's probably more to his strange incident we have yet to hear about. Ariane doesn't confirm injury story. So if it goes on to say, if there is more to this incident, Ariane didn't reveal it when he spoke with the media on Monday. He very noticeably did not confirm that report that Brown refused to re-enter the game due to an injury. So here's a tweet from Sarah Wash. Arians asked if Antonio told him his ankle was injured. Arians said no. We had a conversation and he left the field. Sarah Wash also said Arians was asked if he could share anything about the conversation he had before AD left the field. No, not at all. Arians clarified if a player has an injury issue, they go to the trainer, and the trainer would tell Bruce they're out. So, Bruce, is that let me see, is that the coach name? I'm assuming who's Bruce? Is that the coach? So, coach, like, I guess he didn't get the memo that this player doesn't have the sign off to play. Ariane said he hasn't heard from Brown or his agent since he walked off the field on Sunday. However, he still wishes Brown the best and has no regrets about signing him. Okay, so Bruce Arians. So basically, Bruce like, yo, trainer didn't tell me that Antonio Brown wasn't going to be able to play. So to me, he's able to play. When I say, okay, go in, he's good to go in. So I guess the norm isn't for the call to be made on the spot by the player. It's something that's kind of already known beforehand, or I guess if there's an injury during the game, basically the coaches and the trainers converse. Which, okay, that makes sense. So was there a miscommunication somewhere? Did the trainer not know that Antonio didn't have no plans on getting out there on that field? Did Antonio make an executive decision on his own? Like, I ain't playing, forget them. Like, going into the game with him being on the sidelines, was it, I don't know, if I guess normally, I guess even if players don't play, they come out there to be as a support. So my thing is, going into the game, what was the expectation on Antonio Brown's role in there? Was he a support for the team, or was he there as a player and just waiting to be put in? My thing also is, if he was there to be playing for it, from my understanding, Antonio's a pretty good player. So why wasn't Antonio put out there to be playing prior to this moment during the game? What was the reason for that? Was it because he had an injury, or was it because you felt like somebody was better suited to be out there playing? Like, why wasn't he already out there playing in the game? Were you already planning on having him sit the bench for this long, and then you were just going to put him in the game? So, those are questions that I have pertaining to the matter. So not only people like me, have questions, Twitter kind of had some questions too about this whole situation. So I'm a flip the scripts, switch over and share my screen to show like some of the concerns and things that people had that was I guess placed on Twitter. So this is TampaBay.com, and headline reads, I seriously thought this was a fan on the field. Twitter reacts to Antonio Brown leaving mid-game. So Brown exiting during the third quarter minus his injury causes quite the stir on social media. So it goes on saying, another NFL Sunday, Antonio Brown is the buzz of social media, but not for his splashy plays on the field On the sideline with about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter at MetLife Stadium, Brown ripped off his jersey, shoulder pads, undershirt, and glove, throwing his undershirt and glove into the stands. As Brown made his exit, he threw up a peace sign before running down the tunnel. Brown had 3 catches on 5 targets for 26 yards upon his departure. So I guess he had been playing. What? Brown had 3 catches on 5 targets and 26 yards upon his departure. So are they saying that what he had been playing? That's what he had in that game. So the video from the stand shows Mike Evans trying to talk to Brown, but he could not be convinced to stick around in his second game back following a 3-game suspension for misrepresenting his vaccination status. In his first availability since the suspension, he accused reporters of creating drama and reporting his off-field transgressions. So this is Rick Stroud, a tweet he posted. Mike Evans tried to talk him out of quitting. Never seen that in an NFL game. Let's play this video. Antonio Brown has a meltdown at the hands of the Jets and the Braxton Burials. Okay. Let's see. Trying to see if this will play. All right. Let me see. Listen. That was like such a dramatic exit, but hey, it's Antonio Brown. You're going to get all that when it involves him, right? So, let's see. It's back to with the, so that was that. So here's how Twitter reacted to Brown's departure from the field. So Jared Silverman tweeted, I seriously thought this was a fan on the field. Nope, just AB, Antonio Brown. Going to Antonio. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. What else they saying? Then me trying to watch my game and not be on Twitter during the whole AB saga. Let me see. So Shannon Sharp tweeted, can't wait until AB defenders defend today's actions. This is going to be really good. Well, I wonder what's his thoughts on the reasoning, the whole ankle situation. Then someone else, PFT commentator tweeted, AB, it's cold outside. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess he didn't feel all that cold as he was, partaking in his shenanigans. So Jeff Eisenbrand tweeted, Bruce Arians, quote, if we let you play again, will you cause any more problems than AB? Listen, AB clearly is going to be AB. So it's kind of, he just got, who else is an athlete that just comes with a lot? I think probably, what was the basketball player that played with the Lakers that just came with a lot? what's his name? He always just had, the piercings and all of that. He played during the era, I think, with Jordan, and maybe Magic Johnson. But it's just, I guess, in every sport, like, you're gonna have that athlete that's just, just the showboating, just likes the attention, and it's just who they are, and this is just who he is. So I think when you sign up to play with him, this is the energy that you're getting with it, and Dennis Rodman, y'all, that's who I was thinking of. Dennis Rodman. Like, y'all remember when Dennis played, it was just a show. I remember my mom, she just really liked Dennis because he was just unapologetically him. I was like a young kid then. So I just remember seeing this guy that looked funny and just had these shenanigans. But I just remember, like, she liked him. And, now as a grown woman, I see Dennis Rodman. Yeah, Dennis is just true to himself. Dennis is just Dennis, he just don't mess with nobody, stay in his own lane. So Bruce, not Bruce, I'm sorry, Antonio Brown, he kind of gives me kind of like that energy. But it's just, I don't know. I think nowadays a lot of people are kind of become like annoyed. He's becoming annoyed with him right now. Because like I said, it's just always something. Like, sometimes you just want things to be chill. You don't want the drama. We got the pandemic we dealing already with. Like, it's just like, come on. Like, sometimes it just be like, listen, it's too much going on to be doing all this. Like, people trying to live, and then we got this going on. Like, come on. And after when I seen all this popping off last night, I started researching to see, I'm like, is he still with his kid's mom? Because I remember the dramatics with that exit, with the ending of that relationship, with his kid's mom. And I think he was quoted saying I guess following her, after her, he was saying he wasn't gonna date no more white women or something, which we know that's lies. But yeah, so the last quote, that I'd seen, the statement she made was like, listen, me and the kids, we getting away. He got some healing, he got some stuff he need to work on. Then supposedly in like 2020, I don't know if Antonio proposed to her, but so I couldn't confirm for sure anywhere on the internet if they were together. But when I went to her Instagram, like, she didn't have any pictures, like recent pictures of them together. It was just kind of her and the kids. So not since, I think the last picture she maybe had with him was from like Super Bowl time or like February, like earlier last year. So which was during, I guess, a period where supposedly he had proposed. So she kind of, I did, see some quotes out there from her about her saying, he got some stuff to deal with. He just, just mentally, emotionally, just kind of just being off balance. But y'all know a lot of times they say, with athletes, and especially with football players, they get hit, banged up, get knocked around in the head, and they just, stuff gets shooken up in there, and they just don't be thinking clearly. So I don't know if any of that is going on with our brother, but it's not looking too good. So let's continue on and see if any more tweets out there give us a good chuckle. Damian Woody said, what the hell is going on with AB? Straight confusion. Patrick said, it's a lot of drama you guys create. And this is Antonio Brown. Let's click on this.
It's a lot of drama. A lot of drama you guys create. A lot of drama that people create who want stuff from me. But that's just a part of life. It's part of being in the position I'm in. I can't control what people want from me. I can't control what people write about me. I can't control what people say about me. All I could do is get up every day, be the best person I could be. And when I get a chance to do my job the best way I could do it. And that's what we had today.
A lot of drama. So I wonder how would he describe this whole exit right here? So Antonio, he comes off to me as that guy that just likes to bring on the attention onto himself. Like, I bet you this energy that we're getting, I bet you he was like this as a child, just did the absolute most, just for no reason. Like for no reason. I bet you this is the energy he had just from the time he was knee high. You tell he didn't just get like this, y'all, since he joined the NFL. This is Antonio Brown. This is a lot. I imagine that woman he was with, the mother of his kids, her nerves probably all messed up because he comes with a lot. He just high energy. It's just y'all remember how like when the late DMX was living, may he rest in peace. But DMX was a lot. Like people loved him, but everybody admitted his whole team. If you guys watched any like the specials, that Rough Rider like special following his death, like his team talked about like literally it took a village to keep him together to just make sure he go to appointments and follow through with commitments. He was just a lot. Even his ex-wife said he was a lot. The lady he was with before he passed away, his son's mom, everybody admit like he was a lot. They loved him, but he was a lot. And that's what Antonio Brown gives me. He just gives me the energy of just somebody that's a lot. So he's not, not somebody who's just easy to just love, that ain't him. Listen, you working for this. If you trying to be a part of Antonio Brown's life, or if you're want him to be a part of your life, like it's coming with work, energy, and you really gotta be secure in who you are to deal with somebody like this. So, again, like all these high energy people, like I say, Dennis Rodman, DMX, these are people that, it's a lot that come with them. So you gotta be ready for it. Look what they say, only the strong can survive. Like I can't do it, y'all. Like I can't. I can't. And then especially when you're, a woman and you're raising the children too, you can't do Antonio Brown and that woman he was with. She had 3 boys. Listen, I can't do you, Antonio, and these 3 boys over here, because out of 3, at least one of them probably got your energy. Out of 3 boys, at least one of them is running around with that AB energy. And if it's 2, Lord, be with the mama. Be with her. He's a lot. He is a lot. And these people that be a lot be having the nerve to hit you going through all that. And because with late DMX, the last woman he was with, he didn't marry her. So she was kind of holding it down, dealing with all of that for however many years she was with him. And then when he left, she wasn't left with anything. She wasn't married to him. She tried to go to the courts. I did a video out there on it, I believe, you can check it out. But she tried to go to courts to see if she can get baby mama brownie points. And judge was like, no, man, we don't do the baby mamas over here. You are not the wife. So no, you're not entitled to anything. So it's just like, she was dealing with all of that, everything that came along with him, but she didn't reap any, there was no financial benefit as a result of his death, given that she was the one that was there in the last days. Now, had she married him, sure, she should have had, everything that she would have been entitled to as a wife. But DMX never married her. I think they were just, I think they at least had gotten engaged, but he never married her. He never married her, just like Antonio Brown, from what I've come to learn, has not married this woman who has his 3 children. The 3 I don't know how many kids he has total, but the 3 children that are biracial, that looks biracial, he has them with this same woman that he's been with for some years. And she has said, she says, he's a lot. It's a lot that come with him. So Joey Nice says, so if that's his last Bucs appearance, Brown would finish the season with 42 catches and 545 yards, 4 touchdowns. He would have earned $333,000 performance incentive with 50 catches, another for 600 yards, and yet another for 5 touchdowns. That's $1 million. Colin Coher said, not sure how many more. Let's keep AB arguments. Tom Brady is going to win with Bruce Arians. Also, from what I had learned last night when I learned about him walking off the field, I learned that he ended up on that team because of Tom Brady basically putting in a word for him. So people started wondering, like, wow, how is this making Tom Brady look, given that, Tom Brady is the one who put in a word for the franchise to kind of pick him up. So that was something, I kind of came across. If any of you are familiar with that whole process. Marcus Spears says, this ain't for AB no more. It's unfortunate, but it's where we are. AB strikes me as somebody to where the day he does stop playing, I think it's going to be where we'll see even worse days for him. To me, when somebody like this that's just spiraling, I feel like if he don't even have at least football to even play, to be a part of, then he's just going to really be out there doing the most, because at least with football, it's still semi like structured to where he still has to have some type of structure in his life with showing up to things like, but if he don't have that and he's just out here doing things all willy-nilly, then I think it's going to just go, I think it's just going to go downhill from there. So I'm going to switch over because I also came across an article where it talks about, with the Buccaneers and what they're saying pertaining to AB being on the team. So this is from profootballtalk.nbcsports.com. So Buccaneers did not cut Antonio Brown today. That's what it's reading. This was posted today, 5:31 p.m. Eastern time. So it says Buccaneers coach Bruce Arians said after Sunday's game that Antonio Brown is no longer a Buc, but officially he is. The Buccaneers did not cut Brown today, and there are ongoing discussions with the NFL about how to handle the matter, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. It's possible that the team would prefer that Brown be suspended rather than released for taking off his jersey and walking off the field during Sunday's game against the Jets. If Brown does get cut, he would go on waivers where the 31 other teams would have the opportunity to claim him. If he passed through waivers, he would then become an unrestricted free agent, and a team could sign him for the final game of the regular season and the postseason. Arians made clear that Brown is done playing for the Buccaneers, but it remains to be seen whether he'll have the opportunity to catch on with someone else in the coming weeks, and whether any team would want the talented but troubled Brown if he becomes available. So that's my thing. It's like, who's willing to sign up for all of that? Because just that energy, just imagine like just bringing that energy into your situation, and you already kind of don't even have that type of energy popping off on your team, and then you're introducing somebody with that energy. That can kind of, what they say, like a rotten apple can spoil, like that just one person can just shake up just the whole feel of the team, the whole mood. Who wants that? I know he's good, but you have to factor in, do you want to deal with such a loose cannon? Because to me, that's what Antonio Brown, I deem him as a loose cannon. You don't know what you're going to get. So it's like, do you want to take a chance with that? I don't know. So, that's that, y'all. Like, we gotta see. He's just been doing the most. Lately, just he's been spending quite a bit of time, I guess, being suspended, not playing, versus playing. So we gotta, we gotta see. It's gonna be interesting to see how this pans out. A lot of people just been talking about just the amount of money, like just him just messing up his money. To me, for somebody to be moving like this, something can't be right upstairs, like in his mind. Like if you were, what they be doing those scans of the brain, you can't tell me that it's gonna be some disturbing. Those brain images ain't gonna be disturbing when you look at them. Remember that movie with Will Smith had played in when it talked to, it was about like the whole concussions and the impact on the players with their brains, from taking all those hits. To me, that sounds like like just using common sense, it makes sense. And with the way Antonio's moving, like to me, hell, you don't see Russell Wilson, Sierra's husband running around doing crazy stuff. Like to me, Antonio got some stuff going on with him, and I feel like for it to truly come out and become a thing where people really talk about it and it's acknowledged, I think it'll be after he's played. Because unfortunately, that's typically when it happens, when those serious discussions start to take place. It's usually more so like after the fact, I find, where it's after that player is no longer playing and they're then like getting involved in like reckless, they're demonstrating even more reckless behaviors. They're just spiraling out of control. At that point, they're willing, to kind of talk to doctors, or after they do something crazy, the family release, allows for their brains and things to be looked at. We've seen it. And I kind of just feel like with Antonio, it's unfortunate, but it's going to be more of an afterthought where people are going to really be talking about the impacts that football may have had on him. I'm sure probably some of what Antonio's dealing with is just probably things from just emotional things that maybe stems back to probably childhood as well. But I think a lot of it too has to do with just too with the game, the football, the game, the sport, getting hit around. Because y'all, he just, the way his brain works, I'm sorry, I'm just not trying to believe that this is just okay, normal, natural. I just feel like this is just due to trauma. I think that's what I feel like, we're seeing play out. It's just trauma. So you guys let me know what your thoughts is. Drop a comment, get the conversation popping, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm a smaller channel. My channel is growing. I do thank you all who have been rocking with me, and those of you who are new to the channel. I just kind of jump on here and just talk about, I guess I like to say, viral topics, because I'll talk about sports, politics, celebrity, and sometimes I'll just talk about just relationship stuff. So just whatever that just seems to be a hot topic out here in the YouTube streets, or just in Hollywood or in the media. So let me know your thoughts on this. Do you feel like Antonio Brown deserves to still wear the jersey of the Buccaneers, still make the amount of money that he makes? Or do you feel like it's just time for him to just move on? Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. If people, ain't nobody got time to be just entertaining all of the shenanigans that comes along with him. Let's see, what's his net worth? Let's look at that, y'all. Let's check out and see what Antonio Brown net worth is. Let me see. Because the Heat playing, like, he got a lot of like money on the table to be playing around like this. So let me see. Let us see. Let me find a site. Let me find out that he worth $1 billion, y'all. Let's see what it's showing. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let's see what bruh's net worth is. Okay. So we're on wealthygorilla.com. Antonio Brown net worth 20 million. He's 32. Birthday July 10th. Cancer. My son, I have a cancer son. You know, them cancers be sensitive. He don't do the most like Antonio, but Antonio, you know, cancers can be sensitive. Introduction. As of 2022, Antonio Brown's network is approximately 20 million. Antonio Tavares Brown Sr. is American football wide receiver from the Oakland Raiders of the NFL. Like, that was like, you know, I'm from the Bay Area, Oakland Raiders. That was my home team. So that was like my husband's team until they moved to Nevada. So he didn't kind of left them alone. But so, yes, Raiders, you know, that was the family team at one point. Brown was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2010. No players have amassed more receptions and receiving yards than Brown since he entered the league. Look, we're dealing with talent. And it's just unfortunate that a lot of times people who are, you know, who are really hurt and self-destructing, you know, they have so much talent and it's just like they just spiral out of control and end up losing it all because just getting in their own way. Like, it's just like we see it so often, especially when it comes to just our community in particular, you know, our Black men, where we'll see, you know, them great and be like the best at what they do. And then they just start just back to, like I say, DMX, like they just start spiraling out of control. Just, you know, and I think just a lot of it has to do with just the traumas that just within just a lot of times the Black family, going back to childhood, you know, all of that, you know, that's real. When you don't deal with that stuff, you know, it just become layer on top of layer. And then when you're creating children, families, now a part of that, and it doesn't go away, you know. That's why I'm an advocate of counseling, you know, because you got to deal with stuff, you know. Throwing a football out there on the field is not ridding the pains, the traumas and things that this man may have endured at any point during his life. Like, that stuff is real. It says Antonio Tavares Brown Sr. was born on the 10th of July, 1988 in Miami, Florida. Brown is the son of a former Football League player, Eddie Brown, and Adrian Moss. Brown has a younger brother named Desmond Brown, who also is known for being a professional football and plays for the Pittsburgh Panthers. I didn't know that part. He has a brother, but I guess clearly the brother live a low-key life, because I hadn't heard about anything popping off like this, you know, in his life. Brown left college without completing senior year, and to enter the NFL, he was picked by the Pittsburgh Steelers as their second wide receiver pick. Brown debuted in 2010 season against the Tennessee Titans. So, like, some highlights here. Some of the best highlights of Antonio Brown's career. Brown became the only receiver in NFL history to record 5 receptions and at least 50 yards in 2013. Highest paid receiver in the league. That's what look at y'all. Like, this brother need help. He's, you know, and unfortunately, like I say, it's like the help doesn't come a lot of times until like way after the fact, like after the person have kind of damn near lost everything. Then, but at the same time, the help has to come when the person is ready to receive it. And a lot of times the person's not ready to receive it until after they've lost everything, you know, family, money, friends, relationships, all of that. And to me, with the way Antonio's moving, that's what it's looking like. Like, he's just going to ostracize and just push everybody away. Favorite quotes from Antonio Brown, quote, "If you want to be the best, you can't take the path of least resistance. Every morning you wake up and your mind tells you it's too early and your body tells you you're a little too sore, but you've got to look deep within yourself and know what you want and what you're striving for." Antonio Brown. Another quote he has: I was really skinny in high school. I was really fast and explosive. That was like my breakfast. That changed when I got to college. I put on 20 pounds of muscle. Another quote: I don't have no issue with any guy. I'm a football player. I'm a competitor. When we're in the field, we're going to compete and be competitive. It's not personal between none of these guys. It's all in the game. Antonio Brown. Here's another quote: the team goals are always more important than individual goals. The ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl and do something special. The other little goals that you guys write up, those things take care of itself in the midst of playing football. I think our brother may need to go back and reread his quotes, because to me, these things that he's saying as of late, it's like it doesn't seem as though he's living those out, like especially in the part when he talks about team and not being about self. And I'm seeing a lot of, like, these selfish moments, like him making things about himself versus the team. So maybe he needs to come back to these quotes, and read them again. Because sometimes people can lose their way and just get lost in just the fame, get lost in the sauce. Everybody done told you this, that, the third, and you lose sight. And I think that's what's happened with him. And it happens to many. And it's like he needs to be brought back down to earth. I mean, I think, but again, that's where, like, intervention, I think that can happen, like during intervention, during counseling sessions. But again, those are going to have to be things that he's going to have to be open to doing. And then here's the last quote. We do a lot of great things, but it's a competitive league. A lot of great guys around us do work and help us elevate our game. And that makes the NFL so special. We have a lot of competitive players who are the best in the world at what they do, and they all compete against each other. Yep. He's a smart guy. It just comes down to him being reminded of how he got there, the how, the why, the when, like all of those reasons, because I think we're just dealing with somebody who's lost right now, who's going through the motions, and people are being impacted by it, family, he has children. This is someone to me who it's evident that he needs help. And I can only hope and pray that he gets that help, like I say, before it's too late. I can only hope and pray he gets that help while he's still breathing, while he still have people around him, while he still have people who's rooting for him, who's pushing for him to succeed. But it's going to come. He has to do the work. It's going, somebody can't want more for him than he want for himself, period. That's just anybody, celebrity or not. Antonio Brown is a human being like you and I. And he has to be reminded of that. He really needs to do some soul searching. So I'm going to cut this video, go ahead and put this live to an end. Thank you for joining. For those who did catch this live, if you do catch the playback, drop a comment. Let me know, what do you think? I mean, I'm concerned for the brother just because he's one of ours. Like, I'm pro black man over here, me, like, I'm a black woman. I got black uncles, brothers. I'm pro black over here. So I want to see ours win. This is not a space to be bashing anybody, particular our black people, black men or black women. I just want to see us win. And from a financial standpoint, our brother is winning. But from a mental and emotional standpoint, I always like that line in, T.I. raps when he said, piss poor morally, it's like, to me, our brother, he's not winning in those other areas of his life outside of like his finances. And that's quite concerning. So I'll continue to kind of watch this story and hope for the best. I may end up, coming back out here doing a follow-up, as things kind of play out. But I'm just hoping for the best for him. Most importantly, I want him to get the help he needs. So therefore he can be a better man in his relationships and a better father to his children, because they do deserve their father. They deserve Antonio Brown, daddy, not AB, the football player that showboats on the field, that part. So again, happy new year to you all. I will be coming out here definitely, more frequently with putting out content. So make sure your notification bells are on so you know when I go live. So until the next broadcast, peace.